On September 14, 2015, at 5:51 in the morning Eastern Time, a wave passed through Earth. Not a sound wave, not a light wave, not any form of radiation that any instrument built before the 20th century could have detected. A gravitational wave, a ripple in the fabric of space-time itself, a compression and stretching of the geometry of the universe, traveling at the speed of light, passing through everything it encountered without slowing, without scattering, without interacting with matter in any way that matter normally interacts with anything. It passed through the building you were sleeping in, through your bed, through your body, through every atom of every object on the surface of the planet. Nobody felt it. 2 instruments did, and what those instruments recorded in the 4/10ths of a second that the wave took to pass through them changed physics forever, confirming a prediction Einstein had made exactly 100 years earlier, opening an entirely new way of observing the universe and telling us, for the first time in human history, what it sounds like when 2 black holes collide. The answer was not what anyone expected. It was beautiful. To understand what happened on September 14, 2015, you need to understand how long it took to build the instrument that detected it. The Laser Interferometer Gravitational Wave Observatory, LIGO, is not a telescope. It does not collect light. It measures distance. Each LIGO detector consists of 2 arms, each 4 kilometers long, arranged in an L-shaped. At the corner of the L, a laser beam is split in 2 and sent down both arms simultaneously. The beams travel to mirrors at the end of each arm, reflect back, and recombine at the corner. In normal conditions, without a gravitational wave, the 2 beams cancel each other out perfectly when they recombine. The detector reads silence. When a gravitational wave passes through, it stretches one arm and compresses the other simultaneously. The 2 arms are no longer identical lengths. The beams, when they recombine, no longer cancel perfectly. The detector registers a signal, a tiny momentary deviation from silence. How tiny? The gravitational wave that arrived on September 14, 2015, changed the length of LIGO's 4-kilometer arms by approximately 1,000th of the diameter of a proton. 1,000th of a proton. LIGO had to be precise enough to measure that. Building it took 40 years, not continuously in the sense that the idea was proposed in the early 1970s. The first prototype detectors were built and failed in the 1980s and 1990s. The full LIGO was constructed and began operation in the early 2000s, ran for years without detecting anything, was shut down, upgraded to advanced LIGO at a cost of approximately $200 million, and resumed operation in September 2015. The first detection came 11 days into the upgraded run. 11 days. The source of the signal was identified quickly. 2 black holes, one approximately 36 times the mass of our Sun, the other approximately 29 times, orbiting each other, spiraling inward, getting closer and closer over billions of years as they lost energy to gravitational radiation. They had been doing this for a very long time. Formed from massive stars that lived and died billions of years ago, locked into orbit around each other, perhaps from the moment their parent stars died in supernovae, perhaps drawn together later by gravitational dynamics, circling, losing energy, slowly, then faster, then very fast. In their final moments, the last fraction of a second before merger, they were moving at approximately half the speed of light. 2 black holes, each the size of a city, each containing the mass of dozens of suns, separated by a distance of a few hundred kilometers, orbiting each other 150 times per second. 150 times per second, and then they collided. Here is what happened in those final milliseconds. As the 2 black holes spiraled inward in their last orbits, the gravitational wave emission, which had been carrying away their orbital energy for billions of years at a very slow rate, suddenly became enormous. The power radiated as gravitational waves in the final milliseconds exceeded the combined luminosity of every star in the observable universe. Every star in the observable universe, all at once. More power than that, released in gravitational waves. Not in light, not in electromagnetic radiation of any kind, in gravitational waves, in the stretching and compressing of space-time itself. The two event horizons touched, merged. Two separate regions of space-time from which nothing could escape became one larger region. The resulting black hole, approximately 62 times the mass of our Sun, was not simply the sum of the two. 3 solar masses worth of energy were radiated away in those final milliseconds. 3 entire suns converted directly to gravitational wave energy in less time than it takes to blink. The merged black hole rang, like a bell struck hard. Its event horizon oscillated, not physically, not like a material surface, but geometrically, the shape of its event horizon rippling through a process called ringdown as the system settled from the violence of the merger into the stable, rotating black hole geometry described by the Kerr solution. That ringdown produced more gravitational waves, a decaying oscillation, like the last few vibrations of a bell after the main strike. And then it was still. The gravitational waves from this event traveled outward at the speed of light in every direction. The merger occurred approximately 1.3 billion light-years from Earth. The waves traveled for 1.3 billion years to reach us, crossing a distance so vast that when the waves were generated, the most complex life on Earth was single-celled organisms. Multicellular life had not yet evolved. The Cambrian explosion was 500 million years in the future. For 1.3 billion years, the waves traveled. They passed through stars, through galaxy clusters, through the vast empty voids between filaments of the cosmic web, through dark matter halos and through clouds of gas that would eventually become new stars, through the space that would one day contain our solar system before our solar system existed. They arrived at Earth at 5:51 Eastern Time on September 14, 2015. 7 milliseconds later, the time it takes for a wave traveling at the speed of light to cross the 3,000 kilometers between Louisiana and Washington State, it reached the second LIGO detector. Both detectors registered the same signal, slightly different in arrival time, identical in shape. The team that found it in the data could not believe what they were seeing. The detection was not made in real time. LIGO generates an enormous amount of data continuously. The raw output of the detectors is noise, seismic noise from trucks passing nearby, thermal noise from the mirror suspensions, quantum noise from the laser light itself. The gravitational wave signal, when it appeared, was buried in that noise. It was found by automated search pipelines that continuously analyze the data stream looking for patterns that match theoretical predictions for gravitational wave signals. The automated system flagged the event 3 minutes after it occurred. The researchers who saw the flag initially thought it was a blind injection, a fake signal deliberately inserted into the data by a small group of people within the collaboration as a test of the detection pipeline. Blind injections were a regular practice. They kept the team alert, prevented confirmation bias, and tested whether the analysis procedures worked correctly. The researchers checked whether it was an injection. It was not. What followed was months of the most careful, most paranoid scientific verification ever performed on an astronomical detection. Every possible source of instrumental artifact was examined. Every possible terrestrial origin for the signal was investigated. The statistical significance was calculated and recalculated. Independent teams analyzed the data without knowing what other teams were finding. The signal was real. On February 11, 2016, 5 months after the detection, the LIGO scientific collaboration announced the result. 1,000 scientists, a 40-year project, a detection that lasted 0.4 of a second. The press conference lasted longer than the signal. What did it sound like?
The gravitational wave signal from GW150914, the official designation for the September 14th event, sweeps upward in frequency as the two black holes spiral inward and accelerate, starting below the range of human hearing, climbing through the audible range in the final moments, peaking at roughly 150 Hz at the moment of merger, then decaying in the ringdown. When converted to audio, the displacement of the LIGO mirrors translated to air pressure waves, the signal produces a sound that lasts approximately 0.2 of a second. It sounds like a chirp, not a dramatic explosion, not the rumble of colliding worlds, a brief, rising, descending chirp, the sound of something that happened once and then was over.
Two black holes containing 65 solar masses colliding at half the speed of light, releasing more power than the observable universe emits in light. The gravitational wave translation of that event. A chirp, audible to human ears, playable on a speaker, short enough to fit in the space between one heartbeat and the next. The universe's most violent event, translated into something a child could hear. The implications of the detection spread through physics within hours. General relativity was confirmed in a new regime. Einstein's equations predicted gravitational waves in 1916. They predicted the specific chirp pattern that results from a binary black hole merger. They predicted the frequency evolution during in-spiral and the ring-down frequency after merger. Every prediction matched the observation to within the measurement uncertainties. A theory formulated a century ago, tested in the most extreme gravitational environment ever directly measured, was correct. But the confirmation of general relativity was almost secondary to what else the detection implied. The existence of binary black hole systems of this mass was not predicted by most astrophysical models before the detection. Black holes of 36 and 29 solar masses, stellar mass black holes, formed from the collapse of massive stars, were at the upper end of what stellar evolution models suggested was possible. Some models said stars of the required mass would not leave black holes of that size. They would lose too much mass through stellar winds before dying. GW150914 demonstrated that such systems exist, and the detection rate, as subsequent LIGO and Virgo observations accumulated events, suggested they were not rare. The universe was producing and merging binary black holes at a rate that implied a large population throughout the observable cosmos. The models needed revision. Since September 14, 2015, the LIGO and Virgo detectors have identified more than 90 confirmed gravitational wave events. Black hole mergers, neutron star mergers, possible black hole neutron star mergers. Each one a window into a collision that occurred millions or billions of years ago and light years away, detected by instruments that measure distances smaller than a proton. The most scientifically significant was GW170817, the merger of two neutron stars detected on August 17, 2017. Unlike binary black hole mergers, neutron star mergers produce light as well as gravitational waves. Within seconds of the gravitational wave detection, automated alerts went out to observatories worldwide. Telescopes slewed. Within 2 seconds, a gamma-ray burst was detected by space-based observatories, the electromagnetic counterpart of the merger, exactly as theorists had predicted. For the first time in history, the same astrophysical event was observed in both gravitational waves and light simultaneously. The resulting observations confirmed that neutron star mergers are the primary site of our process nucleosynthesis, the process that creates the heaviest elements: gold, platinum, uranium, iodine. The collision of two neutron stars, briefly, produces conditions extreme enough to force protons and neutrons together into configurations that stable nuclear physics never permits. The gold in jewelry, the iodine in your thyroid, the uranium in reactor fuel, created in collisions like the one detected on August 17, 2017, scattered across the galaxy by the explosion, eventually incorporated into molecular clouds, into forming solar systems, into planets,
into the chemistry of life, into you. Return to September 14th, 2015, to 5:51 in the morning. The wave arrived. It passed through Earth in milliseconds, stretched and compressed the LIGO mirrors by a distance that has no name in ordinary language, was recorded, was found in the data 3 minutes later, was verified over 5 months by 1,000 scientists, was announced to the world in February 2016. And in that announcement, something changed about the human relationship to the universe. We had been observing the cosmos exclusively through light for all of recorded history, from the first human who looked up at the night sky to the James Webb Space Telescope peering at galaxies formed 400 million years after the Big Bang. All of it, every observation ever made, every discovery ever announced, every photograph ever taken of anything beyond Earth used electromagnetic radiation, light in some form. Gravitational waves are not light. They carry different information. They come from different sources. They pass through matter that absorbs and scatters light. They bring news of events that produce no light at all. Binary black hole mergers, for example, which are dark. The detection of GW150914 opened a new spectrum, a new channel of information from the universe, a new sense, built with mirrors and lasers and 40 years of engineering, through which the cosmos speaks in a language it had been speaking all along, since the first massive stars formed and died and left black holes that found each other and spiraled inward through the final moments of their inspiral at half the speed of light, merged into a single object 62 times the mass of our Sun, and sent the evidence of their collision across 1.3 billion light-years to a pair of instruments built in the desert of Louisiana and the state of Washington by 1,000 scientists who spent 40 years learning to listen for exactly this, and heard it, for the first time on a Tuesday morning in September, while most of the world was still asleep.